My first contact with music was at the age of 7. At that point, my mother asked me if I wanted to learn an instrument, and because most of my classmates were playing the piano, I told her I want to play the piano. To be honest, because I'm not coming from a musical background, I didn't know much about music at that age. I didn't even know drums existed as an instrument. So yeah, piano was like, yeah, cool, I don't care. I only knew like guitar, piano and violin as instruments, and I wasn't really impressed by any of them, so piano was, yeah, okay, cool, I'll go with that. But I got bored really quickly. I didn't enjoy it that much, to be honest. But nevertheless, I stayed with it for about 3 years, until at the age of 10, I discovered Slipknot. The older brother of my best friend at that age was a metalhead, and he was playing guitar in a local band, and he was introducing us to rock and metal bands, and through him I learned many metal bands like Iron Maiden, Rainbow, Scorpions and many more, and one of them was Slipknot. Slipknot immediately stood out to me. I fell in love with their music, and as a result with the drumming of Joy Jordison. This was also the time that I discovered that drums existed in this world, and I was so impressed that I decided I want to learn the drums. When I told that to my mother, she didn't really take it that well, so it took about 2 years for me to convince her to take me to music school and to learn the drums. And eventually, at the age of 12, I took my first drum lesson. I loved it, and I didn't stop after that. During the first year that I was learning the drums, I wasn't really committed, to be honest. I was a typical kid that wanted to play PlayStation and skateboard with her friends. So yeah, I love drums, but I wasn't that committed. Until at the age of 15, I had to decide what I'm about to do with my life, because the final exams of school were just 2 years ahead, and I had to make a decision of what I'm going to do with my future. At that point, I realized that I don't want to do many stuff outside of music. I didn't enjoy school. I didn't enjoy studying random subjects that, were boring to me. But instead, I loved music. I was listening to music all the time, researching things. I was trying to write my own songs. I was reading Metal Hammer like a fanatic. So music seemed like the only road for me, and as a result, drumming. And I decided that if I don't want to be miserable for the rest of my life, I have to take this really seriously, study a lot, and become a professional musician. After that, I started practicing like crazy, insane hours every day during, school days and weekends. Also, I learned theory and music harmony. I wanted to learn all the theoretical stuff in order to be like a more well-rounded musician. And at the age of 18 that I finished school, I moved to the capital of Greece, Athens, and I started studying at Lab Music Education. And after 2 years, I got my degree in music performance and drums. After that, I started teaching drum lessons to children and eventually adults as well. I played with many Greek bands, either as a permanent member or as a session musician. I was really interested in session musicianship because I wanted to make a living out of this, and I succeeded in that eventually. I started recording many albums, EPs, and singles. I worked a lot on television as a drummer in house bands in popular Greek TV shows. I toured with pop singers and bands around Greece and Europe. I did a little bit of every musical aspect, and I'm really happy for that, because I learned music as a whole through this and not only one aspect. I played many different musical styles. I worked on different areas in venues, on television. in studios, and yeah, all this have taught me a lot, and I'm really grateful for all the experiences I've gained through this work.